Hey everyone, and welcome back to the True Detectives podcast. I'm Adrian Smith, your host for this wild ride through the world of true detective stories.
Buckle up.
Each day we unpack some seriously crazy cases, digging into the mysteries and separating fact from fiction.
We do.
If you're into intriguing investigations and unexpected twists, you're in the right place.
You are.
And don't forget to rate and follow the show for more true detective stories.
Please do.
Today we're diving into a story that takes us deep into the world of professional sports, where ambition and the desire to win can sometimes lead to some pretty dark places.
That's right, Adriana. I'm Dr. Julia Jones, and buckle up, because this case throws a curveball right from the start, featuring a partnership you wouldn't see coming.
Okay, so picture this. We've got Jack the Hammer, a Viner retired football star who's traded in his helmet for a detective's hat. But this new life as a private investigator isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Oh, no.
The glory days are fading, the bills are piling up, and Jack's finding out that tracking down cheating spouses isn't quite as thrilling as scoring touchdowns.
It's a stark contrast, isn't it? Going from the roar of the stadium to the hushed whispers of a stakeout.
Yeah.
This case really highlights the challenges of transitioning from a high-profile, adrenaline-fueled career to a more mundane reality.
Right, and just when Jack's starting to think he's traded one high-pressure world for another, a case lands on his desk that throws him right back into the game.
Oh.
A star pitcher on the verge of a crucial championship suffers a career-ending injury. On the surface, it looks like a freak accident, but the client is convinced something's fishy, and Jack's gut agrees.
And you have to remember the context here. Professional sports is a cutthroat world with intense pressure and sky-high stakes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a breeding ground for ambition rivalries and, unfortunately, sometimes foul play.
Now, to tackle this investigation, Jack teams up with a partner who's about as far from a hammer as you can get.
Really?
Zero.
Yeah.
This tech-savvy whiz kid is a master of the digital domain, but wouldn't know a football from a fumble.
Oh, wow.
We're talking coding genius versus gridiron giant.
Their partnership is what makes this case so captivating.
I bet.
It's classic mismatched buddy cop dynamic. The gruff old-school detective forced to rely on the skills of a tech-savvy prodigy. But what Zero lacks in physical strength, he more than makes up for with his digital prowess.
And that digital prowess becomes crucial when Zero hacks into the stadium's security system. Remember how the pitcher's injury seemed like an accident? Well, Zero uncovers footage that reveals a whole different story.
It turns out a projectile was fired from the stands, aimed directly at the pitcher at the exact moment he collapsed. This wasn't just an injury, it was attempted murder, plain and simple.
And as Zero digs deeper, he manages to identify the perpetrator, Lenny the Shark. Donovan, a notorious exports bettor with a history of shady dealings.
So there's a personal connection here. It's not just a random act of violence, but a targeted attack with a history behind it.
Exactly. Turns out Jack was the one who busted Lenny for those shady dealings back in his football days. Seems the Shark has been nursing a grudge all these years, and now he's out for revenge.
This vendetta adds a whole new layer of complexity to the case. It's no longer just about solving a crime. It's about Jack confronting his past, facing the consequences of his actions. And let's not forget those encrypted messages Zero found buried in the stadium's data, hinting at strange betting patterns and offshore accounts.
Oh, right.
There's definitely more to this story than meets the eye.
Oh, there's definitely more to uncover. Those messages are a digital trail leading to a conspiracy far bigger than Lenny's personal vendetta. We're talking about a scheme that could shake the foundations of professional sports. But to find out just how deep this rabbit hole goes, you'll have to wait for part 2 of our investigation.
Welcome back to the True Detectives podcast. We're unraveling a case that's gone from a seemingly straightforward injury in the world of professional sports to a conspiracy that could have far-reaching consequences.
So picking up where we left off, our unlikely duo Jack the Hammer, Levine the ex-football star turned PI, and Zero the tech whiz are on the brink of a major breakthrough.
They've just escaped a brawl in a seedy dockside bar with Lenny the Shark. Donovan's phone clutched in Zero's hand a digital breadcrumb trail, leading them deeper into the heart of this mystery.
And the big question looming over everything is who's the puppet master behind this elaborate scheme? Remember, Zero had uncovered those encrypted messages, suggesting someone placed a huge bet against the team right before that star pitcher was taken out.
Right.
It all pointed to something far more sinister than just Lenny's personal grudge against Jack.
Right, and those encrypted messages hinted at a much wider net of manipulation and deceit.
So as Zero, with his digital wizardry, deciphers those messages on Lenny's phone, the answer hits them like a blindside blitz. The messages reveal a shocking truth. The team owner, a beloved local figure, the man who is supposed to be leading the team to victory, is the mastermind behind it all.
Wow.
It's a twist that sends shockwaves through the investigation. The very person who should be upholding the integrity of the game was betting against his own players for financial gain.
This isn't just about greed, it's about the erosion of trust, the exploitation of loyalty. This team owner built his reputation on community support, on the hopes and dreams of his players and fans, and he was willing to throw it all away for a chance to line his pockets.
And the messages revealed that the owner's scheme went even deeper. He'd been using his influence to pressure other players into throwing games, threatening their careers if they didn't comply. It was a web of manipulation that extended far beyond just the pitcher's injury.
This case reveals a dark underbelly of professional sports, where the desire to win at all costs can create a culture of silence and fear. The pressure to succeed can be immense, and sometimes it can push people to make choices that compromise their values.
Now, Jack and Zero are faced with a tough decision. They have the evidence to expose the owner, but they're up against a powerful and influential figure. Going to the authorities directly could be risky, potentially triggering a cover-up that protects the owner and buries the truth.
They find themselves in a classic ethical dilemma. Do they play by the rules of a system that might be rigged against them, or do they find another way to ensure justice is served?
With sirens wailing in the distance as the police close in on Lenny, Jack, and Zero make their choice, they decide to bypass the official channels and leak the incriminating evidence to a trusted reporter known for their investigative integrity and relentless pursuit of the truth.
It's a risky move, but one that speaks to their belief in the power of the press to expose wrongdoing and hold those in power accountable.
And the fallout is swift, and decisive headlines scream betrayal. The city is in an uproar, and the team owner, stripped of his facade of respectability, is arrested, his empire collapsing under the weight of his deceit.
The truth has come to light, but it's a victory tinged with sadness. The team, once a symbol of pride and unity, is now stained by scandal, and the fans, betrayed by someone they trusted, are left grappling with disillusionment.
And as for Jack and Zero, their partnership, forged in the fires of this intense investigation, reaches its natural conclusion. They've gone from wary allies to a team that, despite their differences, managed to take down a powerful adversary.
It's a testament to the fact that sometimes the most effective partnerships arise from the most unexpected pairings. Jack, the old-school detective, learned to embrace the power of technology. And Zero, the tech whiz, discovered the importance of real-world experience and gut instinct.
But there's one last twist to this story, one final revelation that adds a layer of complexity to an already tangled case to uncover the full extent of the owner's betrayal and the ripple effects it has on everyone involved. We'll need to dive into the final part of our investigation. Stay tuned, because the story is far from over. Welcome back to the True Detectives podcast, where we dig into the mysteries hiding in plain sight.
Today, we've been exploring a case that started in the high-stakes world of professional sports and spiraled into a conspiracy that exposed the dark side of ambition and greed.
We've followed the unlikely partnership of Jack the Hammer, Levine, the former football star turned PI, and Zero, the tech whiz, as they uncovered a scheme that went all the way to the top, to the team owner himself.
Their investigation revealed how a star pitcher's career-ending injury wasn't an accident, but a calculated act of sabotage orchestrated by the very person entrusted with leading the team to victory.
It's a story that reminds us how even the people we admire, the institutions we believe in, can be corrupted by the pursuit of wealth and power.
But amid the betrayal and the shattered trust, there's a glimmer of hope. Jack and Zero, two individuals from completely different worlds united by a shared sense of justice, proved that even when facing overwhelming odds, the truth can win out.
Their collaboration, a blend of old-school detective work and cutting-edge technology, showed us the power of teamwork and the importance of bridging the gap between different generations and perspectives.
And while their partnership may have run its course, the impact of their investigation goes far beyond this case.
The scandal rocked the city, forcing everyone to confront the win-at-all-costs mentality that can sometimes permeate professional sports, a mentality that can blind individuals to the ethical lines they're crossing.
It's a cautionary tale reminding us that the pursuit of success, if not guided by a strong moral compass, can lead to devastating consequences.
But it's also a story about redemption. The team, now tarnished by scandal, has the opportunity to rebuild, to regain the trust of their fans, to prove that integrity and sportsmanship aren't just empty words, but the foundation on which true victory is built.
And as for Jack and Zero, they might have gone their separate ways, but the lessons they learned, the experiences they shared, will undoubtedly shape their paths moving forward.
Jack, the hardened detective, rediscovered the power of teamwork, and the value of embracing new approaches, and Zero the Tech Prodigy gained firsthand experience of the complexities of the real world, the human cost of greed and ambition.
Their journey reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there's always a flicker of light, a reason to believe that justice, even when it seems out of reach, is worth fighting for.
And as we wrap up this investigation, I want to leave you with something to think about. In a world obsessed with winning, what are we willing to sacrifice? And more importantly, what are we willing to do to make sure the game is played fairly?
Thanks for joining us on the True Detectives podcast. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, the truth is out there waiting to be uncovered.
And don't forget to rate and follow the show for more True Detective stories.